untamed, wild, and free. The desire to explore remote, raw landscapes has lured people from all walks of life. Some look for adventure and challenge. Others seek discovery. And some, like me, set out into these places for one more reason yet: inspiration.
My name is Cory Trépanier. I'm an artist and filmmaker with a passion for the Canadian wilderness.
I chase views that take my breath away. Then I try to capture them on canvas. The wilder, the better. Over the years, this quest has introduced me to some of Canada's incredible national parks, a vast system of protected lands. They're a legacy that conserves some of Canada's most significant natural places. My first national park experience showed me Grossmoor's wild coast and rugged mountains. Ontario's Puckasaw and Georgian Bay Islands came next, canoeing along ancient shores for months. Then it was off to the Arctic, for a trip through time in Ivavik, to the Grand Canyon of the North in Tuktonogai, to feeling small in Ayahuituk's giant mountains, to Sirmilik, a land of glaciers and polar bears, and finally to the top of the world for the stark beauty of Kitinnerpak. But there are many national parks that I've yet to explore and paint. Places that feed the soul with adventure, discovery, and inspiration. In the years to come, it's my quest to explore the wildest of these, connect firsthand with raw inspiration, and put it to canvas. To do this right, I need to get out there, to live it and breathe it. Spend a month off the beaten path and experience the truly wild. I've found just the place to explore next. Kluane. After touching down in Whitehorse, Yukon, I get on the Alaska Highway. I'm joined for the month by 25-year-old videographer and adventure seeker Adam Greenberg. Together, we head west towards Kluane's looming peaks. Adam's no stranger to wild places. On skis since he was 3, he has a passion for deep snow and mountain biking down ski slopes. I'm sure I'll be learning a thing or two from him. Located in the southwest corner of the territory, Kluane National Park and Reserve is over 22,000 square kilometers, much of it dominated by mountains and glaciers. It's part of a vast UNESCO World Heritage Site that spans the Yukon, Alaska, and British Columbia, and contains parts of the largest non-polar ice fields on Earth. And at a height of 5,959 meters, Kluane is home to the highest peak in all of Canada, Mount Logan. With rivers to raft, routes to hike, and lakes to canoe, it's a wilderness wonderland, and I can't wait. Leading the way on this first leg is Brian Jones.
This is all south-facing. I don't know what's above us here.
A mountain guide for years, he's led expeditions up Mount Logan, Everest, Denali, Kilimanjaro, and many others. With massive crevasses and dangerous mountain conditions ahead, I'm in good hands. I board the plane at the Silver City airstrip and we're in the air, rising over the first row of mountains. The green growth at lower elevations gives way to the white of Kluane's massive ice fields. It's a whole new world.
This is spectacular country, guys.
We land near Mount Queen Mary to explore and paint the first few days. Then, I hope to relocate in the mountains for some more views in my quest to put this huge land on canvas.
Well, we've arrived. The sense of scale here is just absolutely incredible. And right now it's so quiet. Standing in front of the biggest mountain in Canada, Mount Logan, I don't know if there's any way that I could do justice to what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing here.
We got to probe the whole perimeter of our camp. We got a good 3+ meters of snow sitting here, so we're good to go.
You're sleeping on the glacier tonight. I'll spend the next few hours with Brian scouting the region around here so I can get some different vantage points. I can see why you've got that drive to go up these big mountains, because we're just going up this little hill here. And man, the view just grows on. Whew!
go.
That is
All right, good job.
pretty awesome.
Wow.
Well, this is it. Got a spectacular light. Finally, what I came here for, got a chance to paint glacier view of Mount Logan. This is one big scene. Corner. Just want to keep going wider and wider. Sun's gone down, there's just a tiny little glint of light on the peak, and it's getting cold. It's the first time I've ever painted on a glacier. And it truly is amazing up here. And it's really more than I expected. About 12:30 now, I guess. Maybe I should go get some sleep.
Only 2 days into my Kluane journey, and I've had an incredible eyeful. But much was yet to come. 7 more days brought experiences that I'll never forget. Skiing through majestic landscapes.
Wow, what a view.
Mountain weather that showed me who's boss up here.
Everything's completely whited out here.
Making friends in ways that can only happen while in the wilderness. Built on teamwork and trust.
No way you're coming off this?
Finding views to paint like none other on earth.
You're actually looking down on huge mountains from up here.
And chasing magical light that can only be found in the mountains.
Look at that afterglow. Sometimes you just gotta put the brushes down and enjoy it.
In those 9 days, I got only a glimpse of the vastness out here. There's so much more yet to see. This has been a breathtaking start to my month-long Kluane journey. Now it's time for a change of pace as I move on to the next leg of the expedition. Changing skis for hiking boots, I'm heading to the Donjek Route. The Donjek Route, Kluane's toughest, longest hike, is next on the agenda. Over 100 kilometers long, it covers a wide variety of landscapes, and at its midpoint brings one alongside the massive Donjek Glacier. The first 28 kilometers runs from the Alaska Highway to the park boundary. Then it's on foot until we reach Bighorn Lake. Brian's gone home now, and in his place, Adam and I are joined by my brother Carl, who will help carry the load for the next 9 days. To save time in getting to Kluane's boundary, we meet up at 5 a.m. with outfitter Dave Dixon.
Good morning. Right on.
See you, man.
Morning.
It's like a scene from an old western. Through the gray morning drizzle, I see 10 horses. Some for riding, and some for packing.
So this has saved us a bit of work.
No, this has saved us a ton of work. I'm pretty stoked to be on a horse right now.
Now, the hills are starting. We're gonna have to put all this weight on our back. Let the real work begin.
We cross our first river into a rocky landscape. Hours of heavy, steady climbing at last brings us to Hogue Pass.
Wow. Look at that.
Magical light floods the land. Exhausted and exhilarated, we've arrived.
What a spectacular evening. The light came and filled the valley here and there and just really made for an incredible experience. And now, and looking forward to tomorrow.
What goes up must come down. Turns out the old saying is true. It's time to pay for the gorgeous views and descend the scree slopes. With our 90-pound packs full of painting, filming, and camping gear, this will be fun.
Kyle?
And that was a long, long way.
Pushing for 2 more days over ankle-twisting riverbeds and through deep forests brings us to the edge of the Donjek Glacier. What a treat. I started the trip on top of the glaciers, and now I'm seeing them from the bottom.
It's massive. It's about 15-20 kilometers just to follow this edge back to Bighorn Lake.
All that hiking makes it tough to pull out my easel and paint. It can get pretty frustrating at times, being surrounded by such beauty and not being able to paint it. Despite that, I managed a couple more canvases along the way.
Almost too much for one painting.
Discovered more of Adam's outdoor talents.
There's a couple of gullies that we can go down that have some really decent screen in them.
And I reconnected with my brother Carl in a place where memories made last a lifetime.
I can't believe I'm actually here.
And just when we thought we'd reached the end, we found one more test. Bighorn Creek. The largest river crossing by far, it was riding high and muddy.
It took us about an hour and 15 minutes to get across. And gosh, nice to be on the other side.
The Donjek Route has lived up to its reputation. It's been tough. But that only serves to make its beauty all the sweeter.
Bighorn Lake at last.
The last leg back to the highway will have to wait for another day, though. We've got a plane to catch. Carl's going home, and Adam and I have some lakes to canoe. Tucked into the southern forests of Kluane National Park lie Bates and Mush Lakes. At 13 and 10 kilometers respectively, I'll be picking up a paddle and giving my back a break. Before we can float though, Adam and I first have to deal with a 22-kilometer stretch of backcountry road that leads to the bottom of Mush Lake. This is where Kluane Superintendent Sean Sheardown comes in.
I'm a member of the Champagne-Ajac First Nation. I'm a member of the Crow clan. Our people would have wandered this place ever since really the glaciers would have retreated back, and maybe even before then.
Loading up his truck, we begin the 3.5-hour adventure ride to our starting point, until we at last break free of the deep forest and find ourselves at the sandy edge of the beautiful mountain-lined Mush Lake. With the weight of the world lifted from my shoulders, the canoe slides me deeper into the park.
Looks nice. This will be the first time I ever portage a canoe in the Yukon. And there we go.
A short portage, a few grayling,
What a beauty.
and some more paddling, and Bates Lake reveals itself. A raw, windier, and wilder looking body of water, Bates acts like a funnel for the winds coming down off the ice field. We pitch camp, and as I scan my new surroundings, I find a small island in the distance. Contrasting against the distant, rugged mountains, it makes a perfect focal point for a new painting. But I find it hard to paint something I don't really know. With good fortune, the winds die down the next day, and I paddle out for a closer look. Now I'm ready to paint. Though only here for a few days, canoeing with Adam has been a wonderful change of pace. Shore lunches, afternoon naps to the sound of lapping water, floating in big open spaces, and even battling against the wind. All have allowed me to experience Kluane in different ways. But there's still one more way to come. I'll be on the water again, but this time on a raft, on a wild river. Fed by the meltwaters of the icefields, the 250-kilometer-long Alsek River runs through spectacular primal wilderness. Beginning in Kluane, it flows through British Columbia, then the US, before spilling into the Gulf of Alaska. Along the way, there are glacier-formed lakes, icebergs, and more spectacular vistas than I could ever shake a paintbrush at. In 1986, in recognition of its outstanding northern natural heritage, the Alsek was designated a Canadian Heritage River. This is where I'm going to next.
Once again, we have spectacular weather.
Adam and I meet up with Jill Pangman and her 15-year-old son, Kalen.
And Kalen's going to be showing me the ropes here as to how we inflate a raft. Keeps going.
Jill's been guiding river trips in the Yukon for 25 years. Kalen? Well, he's been on more rivers and mountains since he was 6 than I could dream of. We push off into the flow, but we're not on the Alsek quite yet. We've taken off near Haines Junction on the Desdiash River. 27 kilometers downstream will take us to a point where the river swells in size. That's when we'll officially be on the Alsek. Another 46 kilometers and the river grows again. This time we'll be in Lowell Lake, our last destination of the expedition. One day begins to melt into another as we float down the ancient valley. Signs of a massive flood 150 years ago can be seen along the mountainsides. Kalen finds challenging ways to collect drinking water, sometimes getting more on himself than in the jug. Each campsite becomes another home away from home, a chance to gather around more great food, places to share stories. Each stop offers rare views for an artist who can never get enough.
A little chilly this morning. Be a bit light up in the hills there and figure if I get moving. One of the big things I'm hoping as a result of taking so much time up here and that somehow by being immersed in it, that these blank canvases turn into something to have a little more meaning from having been here and experiencing it. The sun has made it to this side finally. It's crawling up over the scene there too. Lowell Lake is next stop. Time to pack this painting up and move on.
3.5 weeks into my month up here, and we're approaching our final campsite on Lowell Lake. Can't believe it. But there's no time to think about that right now.
Back in there is Lowell Glacier, and we got a few more rough ones to take care of first before we get there. Whoa! Everybody holding on back there? Had a fun ride coming in, and now it's just like the unveiling of the lake as we come through this narrow gap. Spectacular.
Evening light spills out from behind Lowell Glacier. Ice sculptures float everywhere, and one iceberg in particular towers above them all. We've barely arrived, and I've already found my subject. But it's too late to paint. We have camp to set before it's dark. A camp with a view like no other. And a special dinner to go with it. And one more treat yet.
What a way to end off a day up here in Kluane. Finished dinner. Getting kind of ready to get tucked in, and the light show began. Some incredible northern lights. It's lighting up the sky. We're all set to go on what is the last official hike of my month up here in Kluane National Park. It's taken up to the top of Goat Herd Mountain.
As we ascend, the view quickly grows. Bigger and bigger and bigger. Finally, I can't resist anymore. It's time for one more painting.
Whoa! Man, the only challenge with painting up here is the wind.
The expansive scene once again reminds me of just how big it is up here. I can see further up Lowell Glacier from this vantage point and endless peaks beyond. But this is just the daily view for the mountain goats further up that go about their business, ignoring the temporary visitor with a paintbrush.
Well, it's been one heck of a windy session painting here. Time to get this stuff put together and see if we can't find our way back to camp.
My last day in Kluane has come. I play among the icebergs and soak up this majestic place. Of all the bergs on the lake, though, one keeps calling me. I saw it on arrival. I checked it out in midday light. I spotted it from on high. And now, in a stroke of pure serendipity, evening has come, and the winds have died down. What a way to end a trip. I couldn't ask for more.
Oh my gosh, that's the iceberg I'm coming to paint. Wow. iceberg. Oh, wow. That's nuts. Wow. It's all going. The whole thing is going. I guess I won't be painting that one tonight. Well, can't believe it. After almost a month in this spectacular place, Kluane National Park, taking down the tent for the last time.
Though I'm heading back to my studio, it's here, out here, where it all begins. In the wild. Experiencing nature on a grand scale. Getting my fill of adventure, challenge, and discovery. And finding inspiration at every turn. Exploring Kluane has given me the chance to experience the real world and to get in touch with my wilder side. It has filled my mind with awe and wonder, which will be a part of me for the rest of my life. Yes, there may be some easier places to visit, but like most things in life, the greatest rewards come with some effort. Come out and get a taste for yourself. I believe you'll find truth in the words of an unknown writer long ago. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place.